Is the story of how I discovered that I was abandoned at the hospital. So my previous family, they dropped me off at the hospital and they told me that they'd be back in a week. Cut to like months later, and I was still holding out hope after a couple of visits, and then the therapist asked me how I felt knowing that I wasn't going back. My previous family didn't tell me that, and it took a therapist at the hospital telling me because she thought that I'd already known. So then my therapist, she told me that they had called her. They didn't feel bothered enough to tell me, I guess. So they told her that I wasn't going back, and then she told me that I had to go back into the foster care system.
That's when I got a phone call from the hospital. I wasn't prepared to have a child, so they said, hey, there's a kid at the hospital who needs a place to be. And I was like, I can offer the weekend. That's all that I can do. And that's how he came to me, because they did not have a place for him to go and they needed a place, at least for the weekend. And that's how I came in and said, yes, I'll take him. That's how we met. Once I received Anthony, I also got to know that they had had another child who was Anthony's older brother that they had returned back into the system. So Anthony wasn't the first time, he was the second time, which is common in the foster care system.
And it was sad, really, to be told that they loved me and that they told me for all the time that I'd been with them that they loved me. And I spent all that time with them, and then suddenly they just seemingly gave up. And it's kind of sad to think that somebody can just suddenly just quit on a child at the drop of a hat like that.
Parenting can be difficult, especially parenting kids with trauma. And after fostering more than 45 children, I've put those lessons down. So before you give up on a child, maybe you can read the things that I've learned along the way. In my book, Love Does Not Conquer All.